Hello. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sitting down. We've got sweets at the back with our yellow pants friend Al, and sweets at the front.
The man in yellow pants.
Please will not interrupt me. Thank you. So we're from Issue Magazine. What Issue Magazine is we're an online local publication that's been happening since about June 2012, and we publish on the 15th of every month based around a theme. So we're very, very small, but we're very, very passionate and dedicated. I would like to say so. And what we do, how we started was basically with a podcast, with the desire to start a conversation. And that turned into the desire to start a place to put all of our voices. Our editorial team are a team of friends and writers who found that there wasn't a place in KL, in Malaysia, for our writings to just kind of go up immediately. There's a level of quality control. We're all edited. Our editorial team makes sure that all the work that goes up is up to a certain quality, and we just thought there wasn't a place to do that. So we decided, what better way to create a place than to just make our own. So Issue Mag is a place for that. So every month we are based around a theme, and the themes that we've had so far are loss, self-discovery, comfort, commitment, addiction, envy, light, recently trash. So as you can see, it's kind of a wide variety of things. And the reason we have these themes is so that there's something that ties everything together, because you can submit anything to Issue. You can, we've had collaborations with like illustrations and writing and video, and with our monthly podcast, we try our best to reach out to people like you guys, to people like Yakin, to people like, we've had Shamir on our podcast before, to speak to people who are our age, who are interested in literature, interested in culture, interested in our city and our country, and all these things that we don't think has a place yet. So that's what we're trying to do. And our upcoming themes are film, money, and magic, which brings me to this whole session. So we're recording this for our podcast for the month of May with the theme of magic. So what we've been doing over the past week is we've been asking our friends on Twitter and Facebook to help us decide what to discuss and what to present to you guys in these 20 minutes that we have today. And all they had to do was complete the phrase, the magic of ... So we have this board, our very stylish board from Popular, very local, with the topics that we found interesting that people had submitted. There were a lot of submissions from various people. There's the usual suspects, the magic of chocolate, the magic of nasi lemak. It was just constant tweets of food. We cut that down into things that we thought would be interesting to discuss today with all of you, and to kind of showcase the work that we've done as well. So we thank you in advance for your patience. We really do want audience participation in terms of picking which ones we discuss and starting a discussion. What do you guys think about magic? What do you guys think is magic, or not magic? Do you disagree or agree with, feel free to talk and interrupt us, because that's what we'll be doing on stage with these mics. It's very awkward to talk to. Anyway, I would just like to introduce the people that are on stage with me. So Lutfi is one of our editors, and we will also have the help of our excellent friends Shaz and Akram by the side later on. So I think we're ready to start. Yeah?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So I think we'll just throw this out to the crowd to decide which one we start with first. So I don't know if you guys at the back can see as well. Someone's writing is very terrible. So
I think it's clear enough for everyone to see.
You guys can see? You guys can help us pick the first one that we should discuss.
Yes. If you can't see, come up further to the front. That is the idea. Yes, you two at the back, come on in. I'm not telling you.
Any ideas? So we've got like coffee, nostalgia, little things, sad young men, girls, bones, collaborations, Kuala Lumpur, consequences, soulmates. We'll discuss anything. The first person who says what we'll discuss it. No?
Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur?
Kuala Lumpur.
Thank you. We'll do Kuala Lumpur. Alright. Pull that up. Okay. So behind Kuala Lumpur, there's a quote.
So the thing behind each of these cards, as you've explained this, there's a quote from a work that we've written or one of our writers have written. So for this one is a Malay piece. So it goes, sayanglah lu tak nak terus duduk dekat KL ni. Banyak benda orang tengah bina sekarang ni. Tengoklah kat luar tu. Rangka bangunan naik macam cendawan. this was temubuan by Limau Daun Merah for issue purpose. So yeah.
So I thought that was a very interesting quote in terms of things growing up like mushrooms. I feel like when we're traveling in the city, all of us here probably drive, right? And all of us are so used to every single place we go to being covered in scaffolding, being covered in construction. So one construction finishes, another thing starts.
Exactly.
What kind of, for you, like what kind of impression does that lead to? Like, do you feel like the city is always growing? Because sometimes I feel like no matter how much they are fixing the federal, it's still exactly the same.
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean, because especially if you're used to driving in Kuala Lumpur,
yeah,
you don't notice this development that's going on, but it's just, in 5 years time, you go away and suddenly there's a whole new thing.
Yeah.
It's like mushrooms.
Yeah.
Because you don't see a mushroom growing from a spore to like something like baby mushroom to a real mushroom to a full-blown mushroom, but it just becomes a real mushroom. And it's like Kuala Lumpur doesn't seem to grow in stages, it's just a huge...
Yeah, you pass by one place, there's nothing. The next day, there's an entire shopping center, and you're supposed to know where this place was. This isn't really a Kuala Lumpur related anecdote. I'm sorry, I'm not a Kuala Lumpur person. Kuala Lumpur scares me. But I remember going away for 4 years to study, and then coming back, and then asking somebody where to meet, and they're like, meet me at Chita Mall, as if I'm supposed to know where that is. And it's like, oh, of course you should know where that is. Everyone knows where Chita Mall is. I remember coming back and having lunch with these two, and they're like, meet us at Ben's at KLCC. Everyone knows where Ben's is, Shah. How can you not know where Ben's is?
Yes, everyone knows where Ben's is, come on.
No agreement. No agreement. Everyone's on my side. Okay?
You are a tough crowd, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so this is how this is going to work today. So basically there's things on the back of cards, and if you guys have anything more to add to it, because this is also in a way how we think about things when we write things.
Yes.
We get feedback, we talk through ideas as well. So
part of issue is as well not to make publishing and writing and official writing intimidating, because the magic of Kuala Lumpur, all of us have an anecdote about the city that we live in and the roads and everything, so it's just a matter of coaxing those things out of people, because it's not intimidating at all talking about Chita Mall, stupid stuff we're doing up here, but So yeah, so that was the magic of Kuala Lumpur. Thank you, Limau Daun Merah.
Thank you, Limau Daun Merah. So can I coax you guys to select one more topic from the board?
And not this guy, because he already helped us out.
Yeah. What about you? You look interested. Mountain.
Oh, mountain. Mountain there. I noticed you're going for the green, very well printed post-its. Then guess who wrote that one?
So, for mountain, I have here, I feel like I am falling. This is how it feels like. This is how it feels like sometimes. But eyes on the mountain, girl. This is from Can We Be Frank? Up the Mountain by Reina Ng from Issue Purpose.
Mountains. I think always of that phrase. You can't bring the mountain to Muhammad. Bring Muhammad to the mountain. Is that the right phrase?
I have heard of that phrase. Yes.
Yeah. For me, the first thing I think about with mountains is an obstacle. So automatically, I hate mountains. Like, it's always just something big for me to overcome as opposed to a very easy road that I can just walk through. As you can tell, I'm very lazy.
Mountains you can look at it as challenges.
Yeah.
Because, like, why do you want to climb Everest? Because it's there. I know it's a cliche, but it's just one of the things that you have to think about when you talk of mountains. Because I'm being romantic here, but everything has a purpose, that kind of thing. So why is there a purpose to the tree by the side of the road, photosynthesis? Why is there a purpose to mountains?
Oh my god, I'm going to cut you off. Okay, that's what? Okay, I'm going to go back. So romantic. Girls, are any of you romanced? I would like to also use this as a break to announce that Luffy is very much single.
They are romanced on the inside. Thank you very much.
When I think about the magical mountains, just to go back to also Kuala Lumpur, we think about cities. I was on the LRT on the way here, and I don't know if you guys ever feel this. This is me being romantic and corny. But I saw the KL Towers and the Petronas Twin Towers in the distance, just very much far away because I was like coming from Kelana Jaya. And there was just always this kind of small little piece of, I live here, this is my country and this is my city. Like just this little tiny piece of something I recognize. And sometimes I feel that when I'm on my way back to like my kampung in Kedah and I see, I don't know the names of them, but like I see familiar mountains, and we go through that bowl with the tunnel, and it's just this kind of, from far away, I think it's easier to romanticize and to think about the magical mountains. When you're there, it's like, oh my god, who thought this was a good idea? Take this mountain down. I do not want it. You know?
Tell them about that video we did for nature.
Okay, just to have a little bit of explanation to you guys as to some of the things that we do. We don't just write. We also do videos.
We do videos as well.
Yeah, so we did a video where we did a book review about this book called Wild by Cheryl Strayed. So we had this amazing idea, right? We were like, okay, Wild. She goes on this crazy trek on a trail that goes from Canada to Mexico. How do we do the same thing? Let's drive out somewhere. You know, Malaysia's full of mountains. We'll find one that we can climb. What ended up happening was we went to our friend Al's apartment in Sentul West, near the Maple Park. You know KL those very nice manicured gardens with the sofas made of wire, and the sofas made of, yeah, we went there.
There's a bit of foliage by the side, so
yeah, it was very, very wild. We were attacked by mosquitoes.
Constantly, that was horrible.
Yeah. It was a real struggle. It was very magical, I would say.
I'm not sure about magical, it was really hot.
Okay.
I remember sweating through everything. Okay, so for the next one, call out, yes? Yes, we'll call out our special guests that we have with us here today. Can I get Akram and Shazwina on stage, please? Oh, yes, of course. How come we don't get a closer? Don't worry, I'll give you guys a mic. Actually, can I get you guys just to stand here, because you get to be closer to the crowd. So, sir, what will we be talking about?
I'll be talking about the magic of stereotypes. That was what you decided it should be called. If it was up to me, I would have called it like the magic of say TV, or the magic of languages, or the magic of festivities. But whatever lah.
Tell them the process.
Okay lah.
The magic. Yeah. So the both of them will do this in two parts. So this is the first part, the magic of stereotypes, and Shazwina will also talk about the magic of stereotypes as a kind of mini monologues, if you will. So take it away, Akram.
Just recently we had the Chinese New Year, and over the course of the Chinese New Year holidays, I revisited something that I haven't done in a long time, which was watching TV. And it reminded me of the days, when I was a kid and there wasn't anything to watch, Astro cable TV wasn't on, so you only had to see whatever was on TV lah. And that included even, shows in languages that I didn't understand, such as, the Chinese languages where we got. So, in spite of me not being aware of these languages, these multiple, these various Chinese languages, I noticed that there were generally three genres actually corresponding to the languages lah. The first one will be the frumpy sounding, usually period shows, films or TV serials, and this I came to realize was a Mandarin speaking show. And then there was the other one, the sappy, lovey-dovey, drawn-out dramas where each episode somebody dies, or somebody cries, or somebody dies and cries at the same time. I.e. they die crying lah. And the language told me that the society was a very emotional, melancholic, family-oriented, backstabbing society. That was how I felt as I heard them saying stuff like that kind of thing. So later I realized that it was the Hokkien language. And the Hokkien language was spoken in the south of China and the island of Taiwan, usually in Taiwanese dramas. So the language even suggests that even the male speakers are in touch with their softer side, and naturally that explains why Taiwan as a country's biggest contribution to world history is the likes of Jay Chou and Paul. So the next one would
Indoor voice, Akram. Indoor voice.
Okay, all right. The other genre would be, the cop shows and the slapstick comedy kung fu shows with titles like Effervescent Brilliance or Heavenly Prosperity that descends unto this worldly delight. The Cantonese one would be something like Chu Kong Bo Hei, very, majestic, title. And each episode will involve either, a cartier party or a race course or both. So I noticed that the language that they spoke was a language, filled with confidence, impulse-driven, business-oriented, casual, char-siu eating, straight to the point. So this I later came to realize was as the Cantonese language. And what really made me so interested about the Cantonese language was even the girls look so, confident and so strong. So perhaps in a Malaysian context, we haven't fully realized this potential as seeing, different facets of society, because we don't have this variety that the, Chinese country has had for thousands of years. So perhaps on our way to do that, we should, let each of these various groups, whoever you are, be that you speaking or whatever, to just go up. Thank you.
On a very nation-building note, let us now talk to Shazwina and see how do you respond to that? Because that was from a very mass media angle, and you have a personal story, I believe, to share with us. Also on the topic of stereotypes.
The great thing about being friends with Akram is that I'm biracial. I'm Chinese and Malay, so he gets away with talking all of that. On my IC, I'm Chinese. In fact, I am your landmine. I am Chinese Bumiputra. Chinese by virtue of my father, Malay by virtue of my mother. And despite us being a pretty harmonious household, we all get along, except when it comes to household chores and stuff like that. Every now and then, in our extended family especially, we all get along, when we meet. But you hear statements like, my Malay uncle was saying, some of these Chinese people, they like to take advantage of you. You have to use your Bumiputra rights. And then my Chinese uncle will say, well, these Malays are just lazy lah. Cannot hope on them lah. You have to do your own thing. And while there are some truth to the stereotypes, I also feel that these stereotypes limit us. We allow these stereotypes to define us and define what we can or cannot do, define how we view our friends. And it's really easy to find out whether you have all these you have all these misconceptions in your mind when some shit goes down, and then when you resort to racist retorts, then you have all these misconceptions. We can easily blame our colonial masters. We can say that it's the British, the fall of our British overlords. They divided us according to race. They said that the Malays would be better farmers, the Chinese people would be better triad kings and businessmen, and then the Indians would be better laborers. And we admit this. We admit this. We see this in history books. We learn this, in fact. But yet, do we really engage with it? Do we actually think of this as more than a fact? And do we actually go beyond, every Merdeka, seeing an article, of 70-year-old uncles, one Chinese, one Malay, one Indian, one non-Malay, Bumiputra, and how happy they were when they were living in kampung? Do we look beyond that? And especially for us, I can easily say that we're all urban youth. In KL, do we recognize these discrepancies, and do we actually actively engage with them, or do we try to move away from them, build our own narrative as Malaysian youth? So that's my take.
Thanks, Chad. That's lovely.
So I do have one question though, because you said there's the stereotypes, the Malay stereotypes, the Chinese stereotypes, and since you're both, can you be lazy and not lazy at the same time?
So it really depends on the situation. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
It really depends on the situation. My mom likes to play the race card now and then. She shouldn't really, she's a mom. But
that's exactly why she should play the race card.
But when we're really being lazy, my dad will say that that's our Malay side.
So you get the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, and then when we
You're not being industrious enough. Where's your Chinese side coming out?
Where's your Chinese side? You're Chinese kids. And then when we're not, doing enough homework and when we get all calculative and we're like, oh, you owe me 15 cents from yesterday. And my mom's like, yeah, that's a Chinese site coming out.
Can't win. You can't win.
Worst of both worlds, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Biracialism, who needs it? Controversial statement of the day.
Biracial girls like you, saying, putting it out there.
God. Every single issue event we do is basically a dating opportunity for this one. So you can imagine.
By any means necessary. So let's move on, shall we?
Okay. Well, we're gonna go.
Let's slip in another topic. Yeah.
All right. Can we get someone from the back at all to kind of help us pick one of these?
Be a gentleman or something there.
Yeah. So we've got, what do we have? We've got internet, hair, childhood, coffee, girls, consequences, imaginary relationships, soulmate. Imaginary relationships. Another green one. How surprising.
You're not all that sharp. Just because you have nicer writing.
Our writing is pretty nice. I'll edit out the purple ones.
Okay, I'll read this. Oh no. This is actually a line from a piece I wrote. Okay. The sex is European. Typical older man teaches younger woman stuff. He is almost too doting and tender. I have not determined what his background is. I maybe learn Hebrew for him. The Boys I Don't End Up With by Shar S. Alia for issue commitment. So
where shall we begin on this?
Okay. I guess I can explain why I wrote that piece. And that line is because I spent a lot of my time daydreaming. So I was daydreaming on the LRT, I was daydreaming in the car on the way to the LRT, I was daydreaming outside before the talk started. I'm always daydreaming. I think imaginary relationships are so easy. You know, I can just take one of Akram's little Chinese opera drama things that he has, you know, very nicely drawn for us, and I can insert myself in it. Ooh, maybe I meet, you know, the handsome son of a Chinese merchant, and we can't be together because of biracialism. What's that going to be like? You know, like how am I going to overcome this? So I think imaginary relationships are so much easier to do because you do it by yourself. It's a bit sad. I can think of a few other things that you do by yourself that are also a bit sad. But mine was a bit more gross than that, but anyway. That was on here, by the way, the magic of, anyway. So I think, but there's a magic to it. I think even when you're in a relationship, there's another relationship going on in your head where it's not the person that you're with, it's the person that you want to be with. And sometimes I think the true magic of learning what another person is that, hey, you real life flesh and blood person, you're not that bad. You know, I didn't have to make you up. You made yourself up, but you're not that bad. So I think for me, like coming up with a relationship in my head is so much easier and lazier, but I guess it's gonna be worth it when I find that dude that's like, hey, you don't need to daydream anymore. I'm here. So now we're both sad. Sorry for that. Thank you, person who said I should discuss imaginary relationships.
I think that this would be a crowd that would appreciate a 500 Days of Summer reference at this point. I really like that the sequence somewhere like 3/4 into the movie, I think, where there's expectations and reality, and he goes up the stairs. I told you. And he goes up the stairs and he's expecting to see Summer, and finally they meet again, and finally she's going to accept him, and he's all psyched out, and then he's like, he walks up the stairs.
The reality is just so much sadder, and it's like, oof.
Yeah, I mean, why can't reality be easy?
See, magic of imaginary relationships. All of you should start, all of you write it, and then submit it to us. We'll publish it, for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
We love imaginary relationships.
I think we can go to collaborations or
Group topic. Yes, let's go.
I really am sorry. Like, I don't know why we're only picking the green ones at this point. It's getting embarrassing. But collaborations is an interesting one that we thought we could get Akram and Shaz back on stage to discuss with us.
So yes, this one is thank you, wow, you guys.
They always get clapped. To be fair, I gave you guys candy.
Anyway, this one is a bit of a random topic because it's supposed to, as you can see, there's two guys on it.
It's two people, they're sexless and genderless because we do not discriminate like that. I think why we picked the magic of collaborations is that issue is that we think, you know, we were basically just 3 friends and then that became more and more friends that now have made this thing, you know. Have you guys ever made something with your friends that you're like, oh my god, I can't believe we made something. It can be something so simple. And this is, it's an online blog somehow, so it's like you can't even have a physical copy to be like, oh, we made this.
But we prefer if you call it magazine. Online magazine is fine, blog not so much.
Yeah. Could you read the quote?
Yes, I can. Hell is other people. We didn't write this one. Our collaborations worth the headaches that they cause?
Yeah, so Shaz, you've worked with us for a bit. You've been there from the very first issue. Shaz writes for us pretty much every month. And you've had to collaborate with editors and stuff. How's that been?
Oh, that's been pretty interesting. But it's definitely worth it. We publish on the 15th of every month. And at the end of it, I'm like, oh yeah, this was worth all the chasing people down and emailing and maybe getting, risking mosquito bites. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. For a while, when we did a book review, it just sort of happened on Twitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was Shah who read the book first, and then she was talking about it, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, I went in, and then,
Yeah.
who came up with the whole book review thing?
That's the thing as well. Sometimes we'll try and figure out where an idea came from, and we don't really know, because I think that's how this collaboration has worked so far. I just like to ask a general question. I feel like, how many of you here have gone to study in like a university or college? Like, show of hands? Have you been to university? Show of hands? Quite a few. Okay, what is your reaction when a lecturer says you have to do a group project? Boo? Boo or yay?
Yay!
Yay? Really? Really?
So you guys enjoy collaborations?
Okay, be real. Are you guys the ones who, leave the work to the other people? Are we in that?
Oh my god, are you guys those people? Close the doors. I have some words to have with you.
Because I can identify.
Okay, so but like why is it fun working with other people? I mean, we just went off of a topic where it was very much more fun to do it by yourself. So, why is it fun working with other people? Luffy, what's fun about being a part of Issue?
Like working with other people or just being part of Issue?
Working with other people in Issue lah.
Oh, working with other people in Issue. Yeah, I mean, you get to see so many sides of them. Yeah, I mean like...
I don't know whether that's good or bad.
I mean, it's enlightening to see the friends that you have and the people that you get to know through things like this, platforms like this, and you see, basically a lot of our writing is very, I know you guys will hate me using this word for it, but touchy-feely, so you get to see their like innermost selves come out like a blooming flower almost.
Oh God, okay, Akram, you haven't written anything for us.
No, I haven't.
But okay, seeing us with these lovely people who have chosen to be here with us today, what are you like thrown off of working with us, or do you want to work with us again?
You guys are pushing me into a corner.
Yeah, Akram.
Fine now, forever regret.
Akram, our deadline is coming up soon, So write about this.
If there are
The whole Chinese drama thing in full.
is the whole Chinese drama thing in full. Yeah. Actually, I was, I did tell Luffy, some time ago that, I had like some stuff that I thought of writing, but most of the time, because I had my style is very, documentary-like.
We love that. We like documentary.
No.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
it's just like, that was the tip of the iceberg, like the original routine included even references to a certain Mongolian lady with 7, syllables with name. So, let's not forget the other profanity that I left out of the routine. But
How about we ask do you guys want to see more of Akram's thoughts on
paper?
On paper,
Not on
TVP?
paper.
Yeah, come on.
I mean,
Yes. People like it, so it's a good number.
It's a very lukewarm response, but we'll take it. We will take it.
Yeah, we have really low standards. That
We
is
do
good
not
enough.
have low standards. Shut up, please.
That's what you say.
I think so. We wish this has been really nice. We're very surprised by your response. Thank you so much. But I think need to wrap it up and let the rest of the serious people talk about nation building. But we wanted to finish with something appropriate, and we picked the topic of the magic of happy endings. Luffy is right. Oh well, okay, yes, that. But it's also the touchy-feely kind. Not that. Wait, no, sorry, that was wrong. I shouldn't have said that either. Happy
So
endings,
anyway,
like a
magic of
movie
happy
ending,
ending.
like a movie ending, not anything else. Get your minds out of the gutter, nation builders. Okay.
So, I mean, just to salvage the situation, I'll tell you what my favorite ending is.
Go for it, Luffy.
I like the ending for Kill Bill.
Ooh.
Which one?
Excellent. The second one.
Second one? Okay.
Five-point heart exploding technique. Yeah, and then he basically just touching him around the heart and everything. He walks off and he dies, and there's blood spewing off. I mean, that was. I think that paid
Morbid.
It's morbid, but it pays really good homage to like old kung fu films. And if you any fan, yeah, David Carradine. So it was. I thought it was a piece of at least for modern cinema, for a blockbuster, that was really cool to see it. To see someone from Hollywood be brave enough to put such a almost like a gory and arcane reference to kung fu films. I loved it.
Shaz?
My happy ending, my favorite happy ending in a movie comes from The Apartment. It's a 1960s film, black and white. Yeah, I'm sorry.
We're very cultured.
No, not really. I just, read a Roger Ebert movie review. Basically, it's two people who initially thought that it couldn't be together. It's not as sappy as it sounds, really. And at some point in the movie, while he was trying to help her get over heartbreak, he was playing gin rummy with her, and he was playing on her behalf as well. So at the end of it, she knocks up to his apartment. He's about to leave. He's packing up to getting ready to go. She takes a card. She deals for both of them, and he finally turns and he's like, Miss, oh God, I can't remember her name, but he's like, I love you, and she says, shut up and deal. That's where you get that line from, which I'm sure you've heard before, but yeah, it's a pretty cute ending.
It's like the reverse of Han Solo and Princess Leia. I love you, I know. Yeah. Akram?
Oh no, I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Akram's ending is that he's fine.
Shah beat me to doing a reference of Star Wars. So
Sorry. That was Akram.
6 movies in Star Wars. That's one more you can think of. I'm pretty sure.
There's that one where
Jedi.
Anakin is like.
Meteor Garden.
Does anyone remember Meteor Garden? I do.
Watch Meteor Garden. I think you girls did.
Jewel in the Palace.
Okay, alright.
Jewel in the Palace.
Okay, tell us about the ending. Tell us.
The Ta Chang Jin. The ending only right.
We gotta wrap it up.
Okay, the ending is actually very nice because eventually she is left out of the court politics. All the things that go on in the court. Because there's a lot of politics, so she's left out of it. So
that's the ending. That's your favorite ending.
Yeah, I think because I'm a Muslim and
let's bring that into it.
Like the atas like Sufi, like the more spiritual side of like Muslim life, you have to renounce worldly life. So eventually that happened to Ta Chang Jin. What Jewel in the Palace thing. So yeah, I loved it. Okay.
Excellent review for Jewel in the Palace. Definitely look that up.
It's Korean.
To close it off, my favorite ending is a video game ending where you think you've gone through so many levels and you found Peach, you found the princess in Prince of Persia, and you think, yes, I'm here. But no, she's in another palace and you've got to do another level, and it never ever ends.
Which movie was this?
It's a video game.
Right.
Way to ruin it, Lutfi. Well, I think that's it for us. Thank you so much for listening. We can be found at issuemagazine.wordpress.com, and we're on Facebook and Twitter, and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much.